Oh, hello, Mr. Bunny here. I'm just kidding, I'm not doing this again. I know, you've had enough of the bunny, enough of the furries, enough of the furries. I broke an ear off. Well, hello nerd fighters, and welcome back to another exciting video. What am I saying? I don't know what today is, but that's okay because time is subjective anyway. Whether it's happy times or sad times, it's all subjective. And that brings us to our point about what is today's video, thanks to Dave Says Words. I have been assigned the subject of subjectivity. Ha ha ha. Subjectivity, of course, is a quality of being based on something or influenced by someone's personal beliefs or opinions of that matter. That is to say, the quality of something existing internally in someone's mind rather than externally in the real world. So what exactly do I mean by this? Well, one example of such subjectivity might be the concept of a well-known gamer in this YouTube community known as Markiplier. A person who in my relative opinion can be so grand and astounding that it could inspire someone like me to start my own gaming channel. Shameless plug. Well, hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another exciting Let's Play. I am your host, NICKLEFRITZ. And this is Albert and Io. Link in the description. You can't stop me, Dave! You can't stop me. And although he could be such an inspiration to me, another person such as Dave, who we all know very well, finds him to be, well, basically no more inspiring than that of the brown stuff that comes out of your derriere. The poo-poo. Poo-poo. Therefore making the quality of something subjective. Poo-poo. Subjectivity can bring such differentiating perspectives from that of a relative perception of a person from that of a pedestal to that of the molecular goop that resides within the sewage pump in your backyard. Fascinating, isn't it? But this example of subjectivity was within the concept of two friends who live miles and miles apart, across the seas. Let's bring it a little closer at home, shall we, with the example of my twin brother, who has a great fascination with Star Wars, and most importantly, Star Wars fan fiction. To me, Star Wars fan fiction is basically, you know, it's unimportant to me. It exists, I know that it's there, but it's as relevant to me as oxygen. No. But I'm pretty much unaware of it, just like my conscience is to my lungs breathing in oxygen. Now, I might be well aware of the existence of oxygen. If it suddenly ceased and I couldn't breathe, I would very much want it. I don't think I'd feel the same about Star Wars fan fiction. However, my brother, it is so important to him that he has this entire briefcase just full of fan fiction stories, concepts, character designs, notes. It is just chocked full of things that he's created, that he is such a fan of that. And he has developed worlds that he's told me about. He has developed entire he has developed entire economies with different civilizations, different aliens and creatures. This is just some of the can't hold that right. This is some of the examples of the art that he has put forth. One here was an idea that he had for a creature that basically would be recycled upon its death into that of a spaceship, that its old carcass would be cut out and reused for this pact of a biological space shuttle. The intricacy and the design of all these things and the stories and the notes that he has, he is a fan of this Star Wars fan fiction. He is an absolute fan. And not even a fan, but a creator. To me, it doesn't exist. It doesn't even matter. But to him, it's a briefcase and more of good, worthy information. Subjectivity. But with all these examples of subjectivity, the one thing that I find very much important is that although something may not mean as much to you, or to you, I'm talking to you now, it can mean the world to someone else. And when someone else gets excited about a concept that is the world to them, you better take the moment, if you have the time, to go ahead and listen, encourage them, because that is what can bring someone life. That is what can bring someone meaning, because they get excited about them. You gotta let them be excited about it. You just let them be. I guess if they matter. If you don't care about them, you can just say forget you and move on with your life. But allowing someone to be thrilled and be excited about a concept and just talk about something that they find so important can mean the world to them. So, just because something's subjective, just because it doesn't matter to you, doesn't mean you shouldn't go ahead and listen to someone who wants to talk your ear off. Unless, of course, you still want to be able to hear after that. But hey, you got 2 ears, so, whatever. that's briefly just what I wanted to talk about in this episode of NFI. I hope that you come back tomorrow to hear Dave talk about manga. I believe that's what I've assigned him, and I believe that's what he'll be talking about. I'm excited to see that. Manga, anime, whatever you call it. But he will be here tomorrow without a bunny costume on. In the meantime, go ahead and leave in the comments below some discussions of things that are subjective to you, or things that matter so innately to you that they've become a basic foundation of your, you know, your sense of life, but perhaps don't have the same effect on other people's existence. Let me know in the comments below. I want to hear it. Let me talk. You know, let's do this conversation thing. Till next time, I've been your host, Nicholas Coover, the all-American YouTuber, and I think this is the part where I fall off camera. Woo! One example of such subjectivity might be the... Restart required.